Hello and welcome to Nevertheless Commentaries. Ebusuku, what could have been a historical moment for Zimbabwe has been overturned by the Egyptians towards the end of the game. So Egypt 2, Zimbabwe 1. The game started like a house on fire. Egypt was all over Zimbabwe with the infantry, and I think Zimbabwe failed on the first minute, truly failed to actually track our movements. Mo Salah, Trezeguet, and Ashore. And Ashore as a striker centrally. Our moves were very, very brilliant in actually dragging away in midfielder Zimbabwe, and so followed by also a central pairing, yet defense, which saw them make a lot of mistakes, amateur mistakes on the first 15 minutes, which saw Mo Salah and Trezeguet having a brilliant game also, stinging on those crosses towards the far post, but Egypt failed to actually capitalize on that. So, in my opinion, in the first 15 minutes, Egypt could have scored at least 3 to 4 goals, but it wasn't to be. Amaranzo Ashur, but I need to emphasize Amaranzo Ashur were very, very brilliant. But slowly, after the 15 minutes, Zimbabwe started to settle on the game. And when they settled on the game, then they started causing problem for the Egyptians. Because he approaches Zimbabwe was a low block and then a transition. So they planned to catch or to counter Egypt on a transitional football and have a brilliant players up front, Abane Pace and the skilly Sendami, Prince Dube. Actually, I think the other guy was Silai July, somewhere like that, number 23. And I think he pays yabo, ne skill sabo, ne aggression yabo towards goal against Egypt prove to be fruitful on the 20th minute when they get the goal. Because out of nothing, they defended the ball. It was on transition. Silai from the right, a beautiful cross after Prince Dube, who had a brilliant first touch, which actually sent the defenders away, and then he passed the net, cool, calm, and composed. I think Prince Dube showed brilliance of a finisher. And then in Vawalogo, they were all over Egypt. The team, Msendami, Itusilai, they proved to be maniacs over Egypt, which forced Hassan Hassan to actually take out Ashore and bring in that bully number 9 of theirs. I think from that point, when he coach Egypt made that substitution, actually came Egypt ishone phansi, because immobility up front was no longer the same, because Ashore no Mo Salah and also Trezeguet follow Mamush. I think their movement on position and off the ball, I think it was brilliant. Any understanding within those players is amazing. So when they take away Ashore and bring in that big number 9, I think there was a problem there, because if fluidity up front was no longer the same, because they now have a proper actually a number 9 that actually need to be feeded the ball. Someone who is a target man, who everyone need to play around and play for him. So that actually, he game here Egypt dampened a little bit, but aggression in Egypt proved to be very, very dangerous, because they also got a chance that they could have buried, not even one chance, maybe a couple of chances they could have buried. Going to the first half, also to the halftime, also they could have at least got 2 to 3 goals, but it wasn't to be. So the game was very, very open at that moment. Going forward, end-to-end stuff, very entertaining. They gave us a very, very entertaining football in Zimbabwe and Egypt, and Zimbabwe proved that they are not just adding numbers. We AFCON 2025 in Morocco, but they are there to compete. What I saw, game in Egypt. Zimbabwe has a chance to actually beat Angola. And you could see that Zimbabwe is a new team. The Zimbabwe we knew 2 to 3 years ago was not the Zimbabwe I saw today. This was a fairly new team with more younger players, not so much experience in terms of international football, But I think they are doing a very, very good job like in Zimbabwe in terms of their national team. So going to the second half, when it's the second half, Zimbabwe made a change, bringing in a new striker. The striker that plays the first half was out. And then, but if you see how Egypt now approached the second half, it wasn't the same aggression they showed with first half, because you could see now the mobility up front is no longer as fluid as it was on the first half, or at least on the first 25 minutes of the first half, when Ashore was still playing. You could see that they were a little bit stagnant and they needed to readjust to actually find themselves within those spaces, because it's hard for a big man to actually play on those spaces. He wants to actually hold the play and then everybody feed off of him. So that makes it very, very difficult for skillful players like Abu Alhamdi, Abu Trezeguet, Abu Mosala, Emma Wingen, and also Ashur. But out of the blue, Mamouche made a brilliant run. He got a pass. He made a brilliant run, a solo run, individual brilliance, and then he punishes in the roof net. They go and celebrate 1-1. But what then the Zimbabwean did, which actually costed them the game, they took out Sendami, they took out Prince Dube, which were the players who were the outlet of Zimbabwe going forward. So man, the aggression in Zimbabwe wasn't there. Sendami out, Prince Dube out, the aggression on transition was no longer there. So there was freedom with Egypt, with defense of Egypt, and they were able to actually build from the back. Because Nekolokala, they built it from the back, but you could see they were worried of Sendami, Prince Dube, because they were menacing defense in Egypt, and they were making sure that they make a lot of mistakes, which they could have used and punished Egypt. But after they were taken out, and the two gentlemen that were introduced didn't actually pose much threats for Egypt, which made them comfortable, and then they start this. Stinging these passes, moving forward. You can see now they actually playing on the front foot over Zimbabwe, which towards the end of the game we saw they made one simple mistake, and then they let Mo Salah have the ball inside the box, because we know that is a terrible mistake. That's something that you do not want to do, to actually give Mo Salah, or allow Mo Salah a time and space inside the box, in position of the ball. Then he punished them. Egypt won the game on the last minute by Ikolaga Mo Salah, and Zimbabwe was lost by 2-1. But I think he lost Zimbabwe has to do with the coaching staff. I think our coaching Zimbabwe made terrible mistakes in terms of substitution, and those substitutions actually were the one who actually gave Egypt an upper hand over Zimbabwe, and actually saw Egypt won that game. But Zimbabwe showed that they are a team that is there to compete. They are not just there to add numbers. So I think if they can beat Angola, they can still put themselves in a position to actually go through. But we will see what is going to happen between South Africa and Egypt. But should that game plays on a draw, then Zimbabwe win against Angola, they will put themselves in a very, very good position. Should they get a draw, at least on a game against South Africa, that might see them proceed to the knockout stages. But we are yet to see beautiful football with Zimbabwe, beautiful football with Egypt. They entertained us. I got entertained watching that football. I enjoyed it. It was a beautiful game, a lot of talking points, but that's all I can say about the game. So this is Nevertheless Commentaries, Sipon Lovu, Sipon Sport, your favorite ank on the net. Don't forget to subscribe. We will see you tomorrow. Take care.